Oh yeah.
Wednesdays are the day we are now going live. It is close enough to 8 o'clock. We appreciate everybody joining here today. Welcome back to your Wednesday, 8 o'clock, close enough. Slightly Average Guys podcast. We appreciate everybody coming here. Appreciate everybody changing over to the new Wednesday. I can't say it enough. Time slot here. Let's see what we got in store today.
Man, that was kind of a low energy intro. You know, you were just like Wednesday, and I was expecting you to be like Wednesday, Wednesday, Wednesday. You know, you're just like Wednesday, 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 guys. Oh, it's because mostly I'm just taking it as RIP 2020, right? You know, like hey, you know, and as everybody online's been posting, you know, they're like, hey, here's what's gonna happen. Nobody claim that 2021 is gonna be your year. Nobody, you know, really, we're just gonna walk in this MFR real quiet, real subtle. Nobody say anything, and we're just gonna shh, and hopefully everything, you know, from 2020 doesn't carry over. And I feel like I'm feeling it. I like that idea. I don't really want to pull over the craziness that we had from 2020. So let's just be quiet. You know, everybody, let's just talk like this in this episode.
That's what I was waiting for. So I tried to keep it a little bit slimmer because we're going into 2021. So expect great things next week.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, since we're talking about 2021, you know, what is something that you're looking forward to in 2021? Like, what do you want? What are you looking forward to, or what do you want to like be the best thing about 2021, Ryan?
I can say I'm looking forward to it, but I can't say that it's gonna happen. I want a little bit of normalcy to go on. And I'm sure everybody can scream that opinion as well, right? Scream that thought. I really just want some type of normalcy. I don't really want to go back to work as far as in the office. I don't need to. That's been great working here. Nor do I see it really happening that way. But just some type of masks aren't going away anytime soon. Gosh dang it. I wish I could say it was.
Stop bringing your negativity to this meeting.
I know, but man, I'm looking forward to some normalcy. I'm looking forward to seeing how those vaccines actually kick themselves, you know, into shape, and see how everything kind of lays out. Other than that, I'm not really a New Year's resolution type guy. So, you know, each year's a different year, get a little bit older, try new things, and go explore the world.
Andy, what about you? You know, since we got negative Nancy, you know, there on the left-hand side.
Jeez, Eeyore.
Okay, I guess, you know.
Same. I mean, I think that's a given. For me, you know, I've got a lot of high hopes personally and professionally. But honestly, the one thing that I want to come back or happen, I want to go to Disneyland. Like, I just want to go and just like have fun outside somewhere that is exciting for everybody. I just want to go. I just want to go and like do that.
All right. Well, I think for me, you know, I'll actually answer the question since you guys were just, you know, I'm really for 2021. I'm really gonna try to step out of my zone and do more side things that are just fun projects, right? Like this is one of them. You know, we started it towards the end of this year. But more things like this, like whether it's just tinkering around in my garage or working on something, like try to get some new hobbies, I guess is what I'm trying to say. You know, like I've been a long time away from doing anything like that. And I'm just going to try to get back to something that like I just want to do for fun. That's interesting to me.
Cars, building, wood making. I've always wanted to get into woodworking. My grandpa did it. He made some amazing things with his hands. I just thought that would always be so damn cool to do.
You've set us up for like 6 jokes there right in a row. And I don't know what to do with my hands. You know, I thought the car did good. The people did good.
Ran real well.
Ran real well. Oh, like, okay. I'm feeling
I want to build stuff with my hands.
Yeah, you're like, I just need to put some shit together. Like that's what's gonna happen. Okay.
That's why I'm getting a tool set.
So what do you got plans? Andy, you go first here. What do you got plans for New Year's Eve in the COVID era?
Yeah, so probably not a lot, right? So my wife is a nurse, and at her hospital that she's working at, it's been very, very busy, as you can imagine. And they've asked people to take on this extra shift for COVID, so you essentially work 1 day a week extra. So my guess is that we're probably not going to do a whole lot. Initially we thought about going maybe to like Flagstaff or doing something, maybe just her and I, but I think she'll just want to hang out. So we'll probably just, smoke some food and grill and just hang out at home and go to bed at like 11 o'clock, and that's it.
Go to bed at 11 o'clock. Okay. Okay. Yeah. We know you're not going to go to bed at 11 o'clock.
I won't. She probably will.
Okay.
I'll
She
be up
will.
playing, yeah,
All right.
I'll be up playing Warzone.
Yeah. I was
I was
going
gonna
to
say
say,
I'll hit you up on Warzone.
Absolutely.
Ryan, I think you're going somewhere. What do you got plans?
Oh, well, plans are up in the air right now. Originally, we were planning on going to meet some of Corey's old college roommates and very, very good friends. Just another couple. So it was basically going to be a double date. They live in San Diego. They went to, however, plans are not looking that great because they are stuck in a snowstorm out on the East Coast somewhere. Not sure exactly what state, but they were supposed to be home last night. They're still not home. We're supposed to leave for San Diego tomorrow morning. So I don't think that's going to happen. Either way, we have a backup plan. We're going to go up to Cottonwood in up near Sedona. A couple friends rented a cabin up there. I don't want to call it a cabin. Let's just call it an Airbnb because I don't know exactly what it is. And might go chill up there, have some drinks, and just be a chill type date. Not a whole lot of people, I don't think. Just some good friends and hang out.
It's gonna end up being like a shanty or somebody's like RV that's just like alongside a road somewhere. That's what it's gonna end up being.
Some
Great.
murder.
Sign me up.
Yeah.
Well,
we got.
I'm sorry, I can't do the actual sounds.
Yes, you're not
But
allowed
you
to
know what
play
I'm
the
getting at.
purge sound, but yes, or right as it hits 12:59 and then 59 seconds, and then it's like round two.
Yeah.
Like that. Just I think the whole year was doomed because they had Barbara Walters say, "Hey, and this is 2020." I think that's why this whole year was a shit show. Just blaming it on Barbara Walters.
So selfish.
So we're gonna have in-laws over, and my sister's coming over to our house, so that we're just gonna probably do a little bonfire, play some games, just keep it low key, And first off, like, for anybody that doesn't live in Phoenix, where all three of us live, like, it is ridiculously expensive to go anywhere pre-COVID and do something. Like, if you needed like $200 just to get in someplace with you and somebody else, like that's the minimum you're gonna spend, and that's not drinking anything just to get and that's just ridiculous to me. So
Are you talking like clubbing?
no, I'm talking like anything, like anything in Phoenix for New Year's was always ridiculously expensive, and I think I went out 1 year, like of the 16 that I've lived here. It's just super, super expensive.
Is it still called that? And I'm old, so I don't know if like the kids call it clubbing. Is that what you guys say?
We going clubbing?
Okay.
Yeah, what's up? Are
Sure.
we going clubbing?
Sure.
I have no clue.
Ryan's in
That's
his
what I
late
still
20s.
call it.
He's not allowed to even say that.
Yeah, I don't know. Ask the younger generation.
Kid now. So yeah, we're just gonna play it low key, have some fun here, do some different stuff. 1 year, like I remember, I think it might have been the first year Ryan was here, like I was like, man, there's nothing to do, like that's gonna be cheap. I was like, let's just go to Dave and Buster's, and we ended up going to Dave and Buster's, and like we all spent a ton of money because we were playing games for like freaking 6 hours, but it was awesome. We ended up making them drinking games. It was
Nice.
It's pretty fun.
Yeah, that was a really good New Year's for sure. New Year's Eve. That was just so spontaneous, so random. And actually there was a shitload of people there.
Yeah.
It was crazy.
Yeah. It was amazing, but it was a fun time, something to do that was a little bit different, and there wasn't that many kids there. That's what was nuts. There were kids, but there weren't that many.
Yeah.
So it ended up working out. I would have done it again if it wasn't COVID right now. So
Yeah, but I mean, overall, is anybody really like just really excited for 2021? I don't know.
I think it's because we're all creeping in again. You just want to go in, like nobody kick the door down. Just we're here for 2021. Nobody make a noise. Don't scare it. Don't scare it.
If I can't see you, You can't see
Yeah.
me.
You know, if you talk too loud, all of a sudden it's like,
COVID's here. What are you guys talking about? What are you No, there's this new string. We're gonna come and kick your ass. Get back in your house, bitches.
that's what happens. You know, like all of a sudden just COVID's there's that creepy guy.
So I want to know, as you do that voice, as you put that on, are you also trying to, in combination, make your voice lower, even though it's automatically making your voice lower?
No,
You know what I mean?
if you do it, it slows it down too much because you naturally want to talk slower. That's the biggest thing that you want to do. And if you talk slower with it, it becomes almost inaudible.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because I would be one of those guys. It's odd. You could just talk normal. It's not going to make a difference. But then all of a sudden, it's just like it's making your voice lower, so you almost want to act like your voice is already lower.
This is extra lower.
Yeah. Okay. So it doesn't really work. Just talk normal.
It just
I've
gets
always
funny.
wondered that.
Just gets funky. Okay. All right. Let's move on. All right. Is there anything that you guys did as a kid that your parents never found out about, or you think that your parents never found out about until you were an adult? You know, so I'll tell one. I'll kick it off. So I'm pretty sure I told my dad this story like last year or the year before.
Last year? Oh my God. Okay.
All right. First day of driving, right? First day of driving. Go out and, you know, you're an idiot as a kid, you know? So, went and picked up my buddy. We went I think we're going to like a Circuit City or something to like pick up, I don't know if it was a computer part or probably a car stereo thing.
And I'm sorry, this is the first day of you driving like alone.
Alone. Like I
okay.
got my license. Day I got my
Okay.
license, right? Okay, not permit, like day I got my license, you know? So go to the Circuit City and we decided like, okay, you know, got our, and then I'm like, all right, well, we're going to go over to this other place, this other electronics store. And rather than go out on this really super busy road and go down and like, it was just a pain in the ass to get there. It was literally like, you can't see me in the video, like catty corner, like over there, but it was over a grassy field and I'd have to drive through somebody's parking lot after that. And then it was that building right around the other side. So I was like, oh, cool. We'll just cut across that. So I go zipping across this thing. Didn't realize till the last second that there was a 3-foot embankment. Like, and the car goes nose down into it. Like the car had already had like an accident. That's why they, you know, let me use this car because we all knew what was going to happen. Okay, we all knew.
From
what
that
was gonna
moment
happen.
on, Ryan got into cars.
So somebody hit a deer with it. The front was already messed up, but like the bumper was still straight and everything. The bumper wasn't straight after that. It was not straight after that. It was way down. So my buddy gets out and he starts pushing on the car. I'm like, dude, just give me a shove. We can get out of this thing. And it's a stick. So I'm like, got it in reverse. And I'm like flooring. I was like, it's like a complete movie. It's funny. I can replay this in my head. And all of a sudden he's like, all right, well, let me push from over here. And he all of a sudden starts pushing. It starts backing up, but then it flings mud all over his face and like, you know, completely straight up. It was perfect. Perfect. We got out of it. Anyway, went, did our thing. I think I told him that because I had to work that night. Went to work. Well, didn't go home at any given point in time. Went to work. I think I told him I hit a curb on the way out because I'm pretty sure I actually did hit a curb on the way out. Like just being an idiot, but I don't know.
Nice. Lying, but not lying.
Yeah. Like
Perfect.
I did hit it.
Yeah.
Like they did screw up the bottom of it too. So it was like two things in one day.
Yeah,
But you're like semi-adult though. Like, what about little kid? Is it like, does it matter?
No, like
No, I don't think it
what do you just say?
matters.
I touched my pee. And I wasn't supposed to.
It's just like,
Oh
when
God, bring out the doll. This is like the 4th episode in a row where the doll gets broken out.
It's a different doll every time. All right, show me on the doll. Was it in the heart?
because that changes my story, right? I've got a few, but if you want,
teenager that you didn't tell your parents until I mean yours is a little bit different, but that you didn't tell, you know, until you were older. Because teenager story's better than a kid.
okay.
Unless you think your kid one's better, then just go ahead and throw
This
it out.
is your time to shine. If you want to give you a little time, I can go ahead and go. Like I'm locked and loaded.
Go ahead.
Okay. I have one very short one, very similar to yours, Ryan, except I had I was drifting in my mom's Toyota Camry. And in drifting, I say during the wintertime, excuse me. So very easy to drift, right? Or at least try to drift. Wound myself up right into a bank of snow. Just sitting there shitting my pants, just like I just fucked up. I'm in a road that nobody travels. I just fucked up. I'm gonna have to call my mom. I'm waiting to see if like anybody would drive by. Finally, somebody drives by, backs me out. Okay, whatever. That's not my main one I wanted to talk about.
I was gonna say that's kind of lame.
It was lame. Yep, I agree. But a very similar story. So I was a swimmer in high school. I swam a bunch. I was decently good at it. And, as a kid in sports, if you're really interested in like sports, you play outside of actual high school. So you'll go play travel baseball. Like I played travel baseball, played baseball in high school. I wouldn't necessarily say I did travel swimming, but I did something outside of actual high school swimming to progress, to get myself better, to prep myself for the high school season. My mom apparently paid an ass load for me to go to this. I remember it, Concord High School. They have amazing facility, amazing coaches. We had 2-a-days every single day for the most part. Just 6 a.m. I'm waking up at 5 a.m. trying to get there. And my mom knows this by now, but she didn't find out until super late. And basically, those mornings, I did not go to at all. I woke up in the morning, got in my mom's car, which I think at the point I was still driving that same Toyota Camry, and I would go sleep my ass in the Walmart parking lot. I would set an alarm on my phone and just come back right afterwards and be like, "Oh, what a tough practice."
That's awesome.
It was just I was a great swimmer, but honestly, I just hated it.
Did she ever find out?
No, not during my visit, right? But afterwards, she found out. She's like, "Ryan, I never knew that. I paid so much money for that." Okay. I think sometimes I went to the morning practices, but I'm guaranteeing you, like most of the time, more than 50% of the time, I did not go. It was so awesome.
Andy, you got to have one by now.
So I was 19, so I was still a teenager. Okay.
Do I need the doll?
No.
Okay.
I worked at a place, and I was an employee of this place, and my job responsibilities were to make sure that people didn't shoplift from this store. So I walked around just dressed in regular clothes, and was it like to this day is the best job I've ever had. So during said job at said place, you had this 90 days of probation before you didn't get fired for somebody complaining, because apparently there's a lot of times where if you accuse somebody of stealing and then they complain, you would get fired, right? It's kind of stupid, but I was really good at this. So during my 90 days, I caught probably, 30 people stealing during this 90 days. So I was like,
wow,
3 weeks before my 90 days. Yeah. And this is up in Cholo, Arizona, small town. So I ended up stopping this kid. I went around the corner. I didn't see him pocket the item. I stopped him anyways. He damaged it, whatever. So his mom complained. So I took the phone call of the complaint, and I thought, well, I'll just pretend to be my own boss, and then I'll just handle the complaint and whatever. So I was honest with the woman. So long story, long intro, but I ended up getting fired. So when I got fired, in this company, when you're that person doing the in-store security, you're a different division. You do not work for, or nobody's your boss inside that store. So when you get fired, you can still go back to the regular floor associate or working at the cash register. So I was put into the sporting goods section. And one day I was sitting there with my buddy, and I was pissed because I was really good at this, right? And one of my friends that worked there, and we were just like, man, F, this place. I'm like, yeah. And he says, we should steal from this place. And I was like, seriously? He goes, wait, you know how to? And I was like, yes, I do. And when I tell you that we took anything and everything that we could get into our trucks or vehicles or on a forklift, I'm telling you, we took it. We had car stereos, video games. We would go. So he and I were the only two people that were licensed to drive the forklift. So I would show up at like 6 a.m. when stuff was coming out of trailers, and he would unload it and put it in my truck, and I'd drive it to his house and leave. I mean, we like TVs. We took paintball guns. We had paintball wars with each other. Like everything and anything you could imagine, we took. And essentially, what we did was we bought coolers. So we were buying coolers like just a regular camping cooler that was fairly large. I don't know, like 80 quart or 100 quart. Like I'm doing this and you can't see my arms, but like a big one. And essentially, what we would do is fill it full of stuff, and then we would go check out. And all they would do was scan the barcode on the cooler, and it was loaded with food, merchandise, alcohol, whatever it was.
They didn't see that 2 people had to carry it because it was so damn heavy.
So we were just pushing it out, and we would always go to one kid, and he was probably our age, my age, anyways. He might have been a little younger, but we were buying coolers like every other day or every 3 days. And one day we're shopping around the store, and our department boss was like, how many of these things are you guys going to buy? And she's standing there and she's got her arm on the cooler and she's like tapping it. And I'm like, oh shit, she's going to open it. And, I mean, we could have talked our way out of it, but she's like, I see you guys buy these like every other day. What are you doing? She's like, this has got to be at least 10. Like, yeah, we're just planning a really big camping trip and we're bringing a lot of alcohol. She's like, okay.
Were you of drinking age?
No, I was only 19.
Oh, okay.
So
but still not
Makes the
far-fetched.
story even more legit.
Yep.
Part of me thinks she didn't really care. So this was like I said, 10 coolers in, and we go to the same kid, and he checks us out. We're out in the parking lot, and his shift had just ended, and he comes out and he goes, hey, he's like, I know what you guys are doing. And we're like, yeah, we're going camping, dude. You want to come with us? Like, isn't it great? We have all this alcohol. Look at all these coolers. He goes, I don't know. I know that you guys are doing what you're doing. There's stuff in there. And I'm like, so where do we go from here? Like, what do you want to do about this? Do you want the cooler? He goes, no.
I want to cut.
Yeah. He goes, I don't care. I just want stuff. I'm like, you're in. Let's do this.
Wow.
So this went on.
You guys had to have so much stuff.
We did. So I would come home, and I grew up with my grandparents, and they'd be like, where are you getting all this stuff? And I would just, hey, it's just returned damaged merchandise, and they sell it to us for pennies on the dollar. And so we just buy it, and like, oh. And I had a little like Chevy S10 pickup truck, and it would just be full of stuff. I'd come home in coolers.
Oh my God.
Like we just had coolers in the backyard. To this day, I have no idea where any of those coolers ever went, but nobody ever knew, obviously, but there's very few people I've ever told that story to. But I always remember my grandparents were like, why do we have 5 or 6 coolers on the side of the house? What are we doing with those? I don't know. No idea.
You never sold any of it. I
don't even remember.
It just sat there, and maybe you used a couple items. Most of the fact was just like, I want to get back at this store.
Yeah, I mean, to be honest, a lot of it was alcohol. I mean, we stole a ton of alcohol. And then, goofy stuff, like I said, paintball guns. I wasn't really into video games, so I didn't take any of that, like any electronics. My buddy ended up with a big screen TV, which, when you're doing this, you're like, this is fun and this is kind of exciting. But then it comes that moment where you're like, what did I get myself into, right? When I'm sitting there at 6 o'clock in the morning behind a store and he's loading a big screen television, and like, I can't do this anymore. So at some point.
Wait.
Yeah.
This is pre-LCD TVs. So, like, are you talking like one of the monster ones?
Box TVs?
This was like 2000. 1999, 2000.
I know the exact size of the TV you're talking about.
Yeah. So, my truck was like driving like this because the thing was so big. But at that point, I was like, I don't want to do this anymore. And I told him, I was like, look, man, this was fun. We had a good run. We got coolers for days, and we don't need to do this stuff anymore. And he agreed, so we just ended it, and nobody knew. There was never any investigation. There was never anything. No chatter internally of like, can you guys believe all this stuff is missing? Nobody knew. So
until now.
20 years later. But it made me think that it went on significantly more than I even knew. And even when I was in that role of catching people, the people that I caught that worked at the store, like the amount of stuff they took was insane. So when I'm going through, I'm like, well, this is peanuts compared to what these people are doing, because they were probably doing it for years. You know what I mean? I mean, like the cameras that would record, it was VCR tape, and we would just, when they would end recording, we would rewind them and record over it. So it's like nobody ever knew. How would you ever find out?
Yeah.
So
I worked at the same place of business, but in a different city, obviously on the other side of the country, and there weren't any actual cameras in that place. They had all the domes to make it look like it. What was supposed to be the security office was actually the janitor room that just stored chemicals. There wasn't a damn VCR or
Jeez.
TV or anything in there.
Right.
You know, it was just nuts. I'm like, how is this even possible? You know?
Yeah, I saw this one thing on like social media. This guy saw one of these, one of those black cameras or whatever that's like 360 degrees, so the camera could like rotate inside. And he follows the cord. He's like, wonder where this cord goes. There's nothing on the opposite side. There's just like, it's not even plugged in. It's probably cut and snipped too, so it's just like bare wire hanging out at the end.
Mhm.
yeah, that
it's
was
all for
interesting
looks.
to learn. When before I did it, I worked there, and then when I transitioned into it, because you see, there's like 100 of these things in the store, but in reality, there's like 20 cameras that actually exist in there, right? So it's any register, any point of entry, and then cosmetics, and that's it, right? Makeup, that kind of stuff, but everything else is fake. And when they have this stuff over the clothes, you can't put that over clothing, because if somebody's standing there trying to, they put something on, and then they go like, "Oh, look, you're recording me." That was a huge liability for them. So it was very minimal on the number of them. And just to give you even more context of how old this was, even though I told you the year, CDs came in those big plastic white like case holders where you could hold it and then the CD was still in it. That's how long ago this was. There was no door magnets that went off. Like there were no controls in place.
This is the wild, wild west.
Pretty much.
Back in my day, well, I mean, it kind of goes along with the next topic just because we're talking about old stuff. I'm going to abbreviate Ryan, but like Ryan sent a message about it. Young versus old perspective on celebrities or athletes, right? And Ryan, tell the example you gave with Michael Jackson.
Yeah, so this, and again, I'm 29. I'm gonna be 30 next year. And this is where we were talking just slightly before. This is where apparently you turn 30, like everything changes as far as this topic. So, and I was just browsing social media just like everybody would. Doesn't matter what, Instagram, social, Facebook, doesn't matter what it is. But I just see this show showing people a picture of some new age famous person, right? This new age, I couldn't even tell you who it was. This new age famous person who was famous off of, just name it, famous off TikTok, famous off YouTube, famous off Instagram, these new ways to become famous and become a millionaire. And they're like, oh, that's this person. Nailed it right away. Ding, ding, ding. Got it immediately as soon as they showed the picture. Next picture that pops up. A picture of Michael Jackson. Probably the greatest pop star ever, right? Like pop singer, dancer, ever. And they're just like, do you know this person? Who is this? Name him. And these two girls are just like, do you know? Do you know? And they couldn't figure it out. And I'm just like, Michael Jackson has some of the greatest albums, some of the greatest songs. I've been playing his music for years. I love the guy. I just cannot believe that that's a thing. And that doesn't even happen to Michael Jackson. That happens to other people as well. And it just dumbfounded me. I was so like mad.
Yeah, and Michael Jackson died in 2009. So if you're born that year, you're still 11 years old, but realistically, we don't remember much like between 0 and 3, right? Like other than just skills to live. But so I mean, you're talking people that are in their almost 20s now, that probably have absolutely no clue.
It's very sad. And can you guys, you probably can, right? Like even you guys might be able to think of somebody that I don't necessarily know, especially in like the movie genres, just because that's just not, I don't keep up on a lot of that stuff. But like, who are other people that nobody knows about anymore, even though they were like this massively famous person back then?
Oh man, you gotta stump me like that.
I know it's a tough question. You don't have to answer it, but it was just insane. I can't believe that somebody didn't know who Michael Jackson was.
I mean, until
am I old?
Until like 2 years ago with the Kim Jong Un thing. Like, I don't think anybody remembered who in the hell Dennis Rodman was. I don't even think we remembered who Dennis Rodman was until all of a sudden it's like, why is this dude hanging out with like this little Korean guy? You know, and next thing you know, you realize it's Kim Jong Un and, you know, a completely different crazy country, you know, type of stuff. So
like, and that's another example. Dennis Rodman. I mean, if we're talking like sports athletes, right? Scottie Pippen.
I guarantee you, most people don't have a damn clue who Scottie Pippen was.
Yeah, and
Reggie Miller. I mean, like those are. I mean, they're all basketball players, but like, you know, from the mid '90s to late '90s. So
yeah, I mean, Babe Ruth, right? There's a ton of people out there that might have heard the name, but can you really like understand who it is?
I mean, unless you're Dawn, you know, you don't remember who the Lollipop Guild was. So I mean, there's a lot of different things that are out there. You know,
it's just so crazy to hear that, and maybe I am getting old, but for me at least, my kids will definitely know who Michael Jackson is.
It's good.
Oh my god. Oh geez. Yeah, but like you can turn on TMZ. It's like as soon as you get over like 30, if you like flip on TMZ, if they're not like the newest A-list celeb from like the current set of movies that are out, like I'm like, I have no clue who any of these people are, you know, like anybody there's so many Instagram versions of famous now, like I don't know any of those people.
Yeah, that happened to me. We watched the MTV Music Awards a couple years ago, and like halfway through, I was like, I don't know a single person, never heard of these people. I'm out. I don't care.
Yeah.
It's a sad day.
All right. Let's bring up. I have a couple of random questions this week. Okay.
Sure.
I'm gonna
go. Your random question.
I'm gonna go with one.
Time of the intro, like music.
Yeah.
You know, like on Who Wants to Be a Millionaire, where the lights come down. It's like dun dun dun.
Yeah.
We need to have like that for rants as well. Andy's rants, Ryan's rants.
My random question is: did you know every 60 seconds in Africa, a minute passes?
What?
And moving on. Ryan, what is your rant for this week? See, I just made you think.
You just threw me off. Now I'm pissed. I'm pissed off. Can't finish this. I'm out. I'm done.
All right. If you want me to give you another one before we go to Ryan's rant.
Yes.
Okay. All right. Take your age. Add 2. Subtract 2. That's your age.
Mind blown.
I mean, you guys can't do any better than that.
Welcome to your Slightly Average Guys podcast, everybody.
Like, you might need to slow that down maybe for some of our listeners. Just like if you take your height and then you minus your height.
Oh,
you know,
if you take your height and you minus an inch or 2 and you are legally a small person.
That's right.
You probably should just go ahead and hang out with the small people.
And you have to wear those little blocks tied to your feet like in Indiana Jones when the little short round drove the car.
Ooh, hey. I feel like there's a lot of women's shoe wear that's just thick like that anyway. My sister tried to learn how to drive a stick shift car wearing these huge clog like things, so this is crazy.
What stick shift? I want to know that because I want to drive it.
Well, it was a okay, it's gonna sound cool because it's a Chevy Nova, and you're like, oh, like the muscle car one? No, like when they sold the stupid name brand to a Toyota Corolla and somehow put a Chevy name, and they were like, hey, let's call this the Nova, you know? No, it was like a freaking crap box little car.
Bummer.
Yeah, I mildly went into a rant there, but okay. Ryan, what's your rant for this week?
My rant today is going to be on names. Excuse me.
Like people names, like, I mean, we could go all day on that. Like,
okay. Yes, it absolutely could be, but this name that I'm going to throw out there, you shouldn't ever name a person that. If you do, you're a terrible person.
Okay.
The name is Buddy.
Okay.
Like the elf?
Yeah, sure. Buddy the elf. That's probably not his real name. He's probably just a nickname, whatever. Anyways, Camo is our dog. Byron, you know, younger people or even like your friends, you always go, hey, bud, how's it going?
What's up, buddy?
Hey, buddy.
Hey,
like Byron. Hey, buddy, what's going on, buddy? Camo, come here, bud. Come here, bud. we're hanging out, you know. And this weekend, all week actually, we were watching a dog that is named Buddy. It was the worst thing ever. Both dogs are over there, right, in a corner somewhere. And it's like, come here, Buddy, come here. And Buddy comes, as he should. That's his name. And Camel's like, oh, my name's Buddy too. I'm just going to go come. No, Camel, you over there. And then both dogs go over there. And then all of a sudden I'm like, no, but Buddy, you come over here. But then they both come over here. And they're like, God, no, and no. And then end up, I just like leave. And I'm just like, I take Buddy, I pick him up. And then I'm just like, I walk him into the room and just shut the door. Don't ever name your dogs Buddy. Figure some other name out. Because a buddy is a nickname for literally everybody else. Like, Andy, what's up, bud? How you doing? What's up, Ryan? What's up, bud? How you doing? Don't do that. Don't do that to your poor little animals. You're just confusing them.
I mean, is that so? The people that you're watching their dog for, is that the only animal they have?
They have a cat too. But I even called Chibs. Hey, come here, bud. Bud. Oh God, you're being so stupid.
Yeah, but when there's only one, I think it works out.
Their dog is literally the best dog in the world. Cutest, like just adorable. He's a cuddler. You know, he only likes certain people, very skittish of others. And he likes me. Amazing dog. I love him, but it's just funny because every time I call his name Buddy, Camo and anybody else who's also used to the name Bud decides to come as well. Don't name your dogs Buddy.
Oh, man. All right.
That's my quick little rant for the day.
That's what you're saying.
What was that?
What's up, Andy?
I said you're basically saying that they're terrible people.
Yep, exactly.
Well,
Are they?
sure.
So
They're not. They're wonderful people.
what would you guys call somebody that brings candy to your house? Is that like reverse Halloween?
Yeah.
Should I dress up then being in the house? And the person's bringing me just, are they just, you know, wearing normal stuff?
I would just call them the Candyman.
Ooh.
Mm.
Again, it's coming full circle. I think the Lollipop Guild works out best for that name, whoever's going to bring candy.
Really does.
Yeah.
Sing a song. Maybe like,
Oh, yeah. Yeah. We represent the Lollipop Guild. You know,
What?
a lot
Okay,
of
this
fun.
is going beyond my comprehension.
Oh, you gotta be in
Straight
the
over
chat.
my head.
You're in the chat. You know what you know. Okay. All right.
If you know, you know.
All right.
Because I was gonna bring in the Swanee Man. Like the Swanee Man is, you know, remember that guy who always just used to bring like food? You could buy like frozen food off of him.
It's called
We always used to
Schwans.
call him the Swanee Man.
Schwans.
Oh yeah.
Swanee Man. The Swanee Man.
Yeah. Here's a whole
I'm gonna deliver some Swanee ice cream.
the family connection there. Let's just move on and talk about something else.
And we're done.
There is. Anyway, okay. So my actual random question for this week, and it's what we're going to end on. And it may be very controversial. You know, what you guys may say, it may not be. It may be midget wrestling. I don't know what your answer is going to be, okay?
Okay.
All right.
Andy, you're going first.
All right.
Okay.
I'm nervous.
Andy's up then. Okay. This is actually like a better legit one because I needed the crap ones earlier. What sport requires the least amount of skill?
Ooh.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
I'll give you a chance. Give you a chance to hear
Okay.
thinking. You know, first off, let's just take ping pong off the table because me and Andy went. We're at in Las Vegas for a convention, where some crazy shit happened, and somehow we ended up at a national ping pong tournament, and somehow we had to pay like $20 to get in. But like, oh my god, they're like, I'm like, what?
Those people are amazing.
Like, it was just mind blowing. Okay, so we're gonna take that off the table.
Yep.
Completely off the table, right?
Yep.
So, what would you say, Andy? Least amount of skill required.
Okay, so this is an Olympic sport, I'm pretty sure, but speed walking. You're not doing anything other than walking, and you're moving your arms faster.
Wait.
There's no skill involved.
Wait.
You're just walking.
Wait, are you
That's a good
serious?
one.
Yeah.
Speed walking an Olympic sport.
It is.
It's called race walking.
Yeah, sure
Yeah,
it is.
get it straight, Andy.
Yeah,
Okay.
just because you give it a fancy
Okay. Oh,
name
race
doesn't
walking.
mean that it's actually, something cool. Yeah.
Listen.
Yeah.
total side note though, in the Olympics, there's a whole slew of winter and summer events that I feel like you could be just a nobody and win a gold medal and be like, I was an Olympic athlete and be in a Olympic gold medal speed race walker. Like you did nothing.
Yeah, you could be like,
have
hey,
you
Lolo
not
Jones,
seen-
you only ever got second. I'm
Yeah.
a gold medalist.
Have you not seen the American team for ice shuffleboard, whatever you want to call that?
Oh, the ice one?
Yeah, what's that called?
What's it called?
Somebody in the chat, hook us up.
Called like Kraken.
It starts with a C, I believe. They like get on the ice and they just like let these balls go, and then they hit them. Oh my gosh! Somebody's got a hurling. Yeah, curling.
Yes, thank you, Google. It was very
Have
quick.
you not seen the Olympic team, the American team that just won that? They're literally a bunch of nothing wrong with dad bods, right? We all pretty much have them, but they're a bunch of dads that just were like, "Hey, we like this. This is fun," and they won a gold medal.
I thought you were gonna like throw out something like cool runnings or something. I'm like, man, that requires some damn skill. I don't know what you're talking about. I'd flip that bitch over.
I'm jealous. I mean, you make some decent cash for winning a gold medal from the United States, right? I mean, this country pays you fairly well for one of those. So I'm all in.
Yeah. I think my answer would be, because curling would not be my answer. I'm sure there's a little bit more underneath the eye, more to meets the eye. But I don't know if this is a sport, but I've seen it everywhere. Have you seen those slapping competitions?
Oh yes.
These people, it's okay. So for people who haven't, it is basically arm wrestling. Imagine arm wrestling face to face with somebody. You know, you're right there, just across the table, and you're gonna arm wrestle them. Everybody knows what arm wrestling is. Now, imagine taking the arms and the wrestling out of the situation, and your whole objective is to slap the shit out of this person until they can't slap you anymore.
Ryan, can we
That is
show
the
that?
whole objective.
Like, can you pull up a video for that and we can watch it?
Yeah, I probably can. Hang on.
That is
Keep
the
talking.
sole purpose. You slap them until the other person is coherent, knocked out. They literally have people behind them knowing that they're going to get knocked out so they
I
can
love
catch them.
watching those, especially when they're in Russia, because one, you don't know what anybody's saying, and they're just the weirdest people.
And
It's
again,
like
I don't know if
huge
it's a
chat.
sport, so it might be a little. I might be tweaking your question a little bit, but I see that stuff and I'm like, wow, you guys are really, really raising the bar.
Yeah,
Okay. You see it?
Yeah, these people literally, yeah, that's all they do. They just slap each other, and they've gotten so intense with it.
Oh. Oh.
Yeah, they've gotten so intense with it. They put chalk on their hands now, and so you can see with the
neat.
chalk where their hands are, where their hand hits.
he did.
Oh, that
Yeah,
guy's
Like,
head
did you
about
not
got ripped
see?
off.
Did you not see how big his hand was compared to his face in general? It was just amazing. So that's my answer, sure.
I love these sports and like all the technical terms for them. I'd love to know what is the name of the guy that catches you, because there's got to be some ridiculous,
Oh, he's
not
a
like-
catching engineer. He gets paid like over
Yeah.
$100,000.
A whole different meaning to saying you're the catcher, But like, apparently, military patrol used to be a sport in the Olympics. Like, what do you just stand there, or would you just walk back and forth? I'm not downplaying what the military does. Okay, I'm just saying in the Olympics, like what is military patrol in the Olympics? Like, I get it if you're like saving our country and our freedoms. Like, I totally understand that, but I just don't get it like inside of like an arena. Like, you're not gonna fire a gun off or like what? That's probably why it's just discontinued.
So
It was called a
Ryan, what would yours
demonstration
be?
sport.
Oh yeah, what is yours?
Me? Ooh, least amount of skill. I'm gonna say badminton.
Okay.
Okay, because
Really?
I don't care how hard you slap that son of a bitch. It will not go. Like, it's not like ping pong, right? Like, those people are like, you can't keep up with how fast the ball's going in that. But like badminton, I'm gonna call it an actual sport. Like, I don't think so. I don't think it takes that much skill. Is what I'm saying.
So we've played in your backyard,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Yes.
You do realize that.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
You do realize how terrible we are.
Yes. I do. I do. But I don't think like I'm like you guys threw out two that like speed walking, first off, that should not be in the Olympics. Because, like, who's going to justify, you were in a jog. Was I? No. I'm sorry. You're mistaken.
I think rule number 1 and the only rule, have both feet on the ground at all times. I'm pretty sure that's the only rule.
Oh, man. Anyway. Anyway, that probably is the rule. That's probably the main rule of and what
Race walking.
If you only have one leg, but you have a prosthetic, does that immediately throw you out of that because you can't have 2 legs on the ground at one time?
That's performance enhancing.
Yeah. Do you guys believe that the doping thing with cycles is actually a problem? Like where you got a blood bag, like AKA, another person that you're just pumping their blood into you, and they're much younger than you.
Blood boys.
Yeah. You know that
Do we
happens.
believe
Like that's
what?
what doping is, or at least my understanding of it is, where somebody
That's
else
what-
gives
That's
you
what
their
Lance
younger,
You're
Yeah.
just getting fresh blood pumped into you.
much younger, so it's supposed to give you an enhancement to it. It's like, does it really though? Like, I could see that it could help you, but I don't think it would give you a competitive edge. Anyway, oh my God. I just want to let everybody know that I think my dog farted in this room, and we need to wrap this up.
I was gonna say the same thing because Camo was underneath my desk. I was totally complimenting or about to interrupt the show just to say that. I'm so glad you did it.
I can taste it. So we appreciate everybody joining us for this random shit show that we call the Slightly Average Guys podcast. As Ryan started it, every Wednesday we are live on Twitch. And we will be posting this every Thursday. So you guys will actually see this tomorrow, show up in your feed tomorrow afternoon. So please share it with everybody. Let everybody know that you think that will like it. If you got a big crowd, if you got a group of people that you want to share it with, I don't know, again, maybe it's the Guild of Lollipop People. Let's get it out.
President.
Yeah. I will be the vice president of your Lollipop Guild. Okay. I'll throw it out there. But
I will act like I've never heard of it.
maybe there's a height limit. I don't know. So we'll find out.
Probably. There's got to be. You're too tall.
Yep.
So.
But appreciate everybody watching. Please give us a like,